Hey, what's up everybody? This is Troy from DDM's Realm, and I've got another video for you here during the Protectors Jubilee 2 times Enchants weekend. If you haven't already, throw me a subscribe, become a Patreon, follow me on Twitter or Facebook. I really appreciate any and all support that I can get. It really helps make these things possible. Alright, well I wanted to throw out a quick little video here to help people enchant things to make sure they're doing it the most efficiently and cheapest way possible. Couple of rules of thumb that you want to consider is how much it costs to create all of this stuff. So if you're doing some of the standard enchantments like Radiant, Dark, Azure, Silver, it's probably best to kind of enchant up to 6 or 7. 7 I think is where it ends. After that you need to doubles or multiple enchantments of the same type to increase them. With those, you probably want to, at least I, just go ahead and buy rank 10s, because once you get to rank 10, you don't have to buy multiple enchantments to upgrade them further. So it's usually a little bit better use of your time and money to buy the standard stuff. Just rank 10, save up, get rank 10, enchant it from there to get 11 and 12 before the costs of the coal wards and whatnot. If you were enchanting some of the more rare ones like cruel, savage, vicious, brutal, it is worth your time to actually upgrade them from low level enchantments. To do that, you kind of want to prepare yourself, get yourself ready. Otherwise, it could really take a lot of time. So to enchant these things, you're going to need marks of potency, and you're going to want to have preservation words as well. So as you see here, I have white marks potency, I've got green ones, a whole stack of them, got a few blues left, as well as preservation words. Preservation words are nice because they help you keep your materials if you fail on enchanting something or upgrading something, but they cost a good amount, so you want to check the values of your marks. Is it so you know if it's worth burning up a mark when you're attempting to upgrade something, or is it worth using your preservation word? Do that. It's actually pretty simple. Just throw up the auction house here, and I just go ahead and do mark of pot. You don't have to type in the entire thing for the search to come up here, and we can get an idea of what the cost is. So the current cost for these marks of potency, about 55 for white ones, so super cheap to burn through those. Plus that'll be the low levels, low end stuff, so you're not going to actually use up a ton of those anyway. So we'll scroll through here real quick, find our greens. Here's some green ones. So what are the price of these? These are 520. Still not too much when you eat those if you fail on create or upgrading. Alright, so let's see what our blue ones are at. I think this is usually about where the cost changes here. So these are about 3,500. I'm actually going to snag this set here because this is cheaper than just a minute ago. But it gives you kind of an idea. So we're looking at, see, the next one is 39 or 3,900. So I know that's pretty close to the cutoff. If you're going to move to the purple ones here, they're not even there. So you could throw up the quality. If you have more search results, change the quality so you can see what you're looking at. So these are going to be a lot more. These are like 16,000 a piece. So we know those are going to be expensive. So now we know what the cost is to eat up our marks. What is it going to cost to save our marks? So let's go ahead and see what our preservation words are. As you see, I'm just using a partial search, which works on most everything. So keep that in mind when you're searching through the auction house. You don't have to type everything in. Just use a unique section of what you're working on or what you're looking for, and it'll pop it up. So if we look at these preservation wards, these are a little over 4,000 a piece. So now we know what it costs to use a preservation ward. It's going to be about 4,000, or eat up marks. So with our cost of marks, it's going to be actually cheaper for us to use up one blue mark attempt, but not two. So that's where our cutoff point is going to be, and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about here. So I've been upgrading a bunch of these rare enchantments that have been dropping. What do we have here? Let's do this savage one. So when you're enchanting, it's a good idea if you know you're going to go up a few ranks just to throw some points in there so you can do um, a bunch of enhancements. So like this, I'll just go ahead and throw like 2 in here. It's going to be overkill for one rank, but I'll be able to do it a couple times. So we'll refine that. It's ready to upgrade. A 60% chance. I usually use preservation wards up until 5 or 3%. I've even been known to um, sit around and go through the 3% ones. That's if you have the time and the money to burn on those. Or you can just get a coal ward. Alright, so this one we know we're going to use up 2 of our marks of potency, so it's not worth throwing a preservation ward on, because it'll be more expensive to fail with a preservation ward than it is with a mark, with these 2 green marks. So I'm going to go ahead and just upgrade that. I don't care if I lose them, because again, it's actually cheaper to lose the green marks in this case than it is a preservation ward. There we go, we got our upgrade going, and now that I put more points into it, I can jump right into upgrading it again. And I also know now that, so our blue marks potency, those were 3,500, and my preservation wards were 4,000. So it's actually cheaper for me to burn through my marks here, so I'm not going to put a preservation ward in here. Ooh, got lucky. Upgraded the first time. Alright, so we're not quite there yet. We need 7,000 more. So I always like to play this fairly conservative here. So I'll throw a 1 in here because I know we have a 2 times weekend, so this is going to be worth 5. Now if I have 2,000 left, I could just go to one of my white ones, and these are going to be worth 1,000 each because it's a 2 times weekend. So we'll just throw 2 in there. Oh, didn't get any crits or anything. Oh, I'll throw another one in there, no big deal. Again, kind of want to step it up because we're going to be getting to the point where we're going to be eating our enchantments. So go ahead and refine this. Now it's ready, but now you see there's 2 marks of potency. That's going to be more expensive than a single preservation ward. So now I'm throwing my preservation wards in there. This is pretty easy to know if you succeeded or not if it eats a ward. And I kind of move my window here next to each other because sometimes this can be frustratingly slow or unlucky. There we go, got it that time. To enchant this sucker up. So now we see we are just a hair over, which is not too bad, but now we're going to need another savage enchantment there. So let's go ahead and we'll pull out another one. Let's throw, what was it, about 5 of them? There we go. Kind of the same thing. We are going to just not put a ward in there because it's cheaper to eat up the green marks. We are not putting a preservation ward in here because the single marks are actually cheaper than the preservation wards. But now we are going to put a mark in because that would be about a 7,000 AD loss, where preservation ward's only going to be about a 4,000 AD loss. See here, not being terribly lucky, but still cheaper than eating up all those marks. And certainly a lot cheaper than trying to throw coal wards. I would not put coal wards on anything under probably rank 10. Maybe when you're going from 9 to 10. But other than that, definitely just burn preservation wards. It'll, in the long run, be a lot cheaper for you. Alright, so we have 2 here. I knew that one of these guys that I went up just barely went over, and that's why I went a little bit extra here so I could kind of speed through it. So now we're looking at, I'm going to need this, whoops, this 7 and this 7 to make an 8. That's where it gets a little bit more tedious and really starts to eat up your resources. But this one has more in it, so I'm going to just finish it off. It looks like we have 26,000 there. These are worth 5 each. So we're going to throw 5 on there. Well, let's go 4 since we're making sure we're getting over there. Oh, we got lots. Alright, so this is a 25%er. Now you see that I'm going to be using the other enchantment, the 7 enchantment, to take this one to 8. So once you get to 7, you're going to need 7 to make it an 8. You're going to need an 8 to make it a 9. You're going to need a 9 to make it a 10. So you're going to need to upgrade these so you have multiple 9s to make a 10. But once you have 10, you don't need multiple enchantments anymore. You can just pile on your resources and go up from there. You'll probably start adding coal wards from 9 to 10 or 10 to 11. Like I said, depending on your patience and your luckiness. But for this, I'm still going to just go ahead and use preservation wards. Might take a while. And really that's the gist of getting this up and these enchantments created if you want to do it by hand. These 2 times weekends are definitely worthwhile. Alright, so now you see I've got an 8 here. What do I have? I have another 9. Oh, got a 9 there. So that's an idea of, or gives you an idea of how you can enchant all this stuff up here. So I've got a blue. I could start building that one up. Build both of those up to a 7, but I'm going to get stuck because I'm going to run out of enchantments that I can do. So here's a Savage 8 and here's a Savage 8. So these two I could effectively combine. So we'll look at those. We'll say 430, 2000. So let's go ahead and refine that one. You can kind of get an idea. This starts to get pretty slow because you have your chances go down, so you'll be using up a lot more money. Plus, you'll start needing to put these greater marks as well in. Anyway, so now I have a 20% chance, 25 if you remember from the last time. Still, that's a 1 on a 20-sider, or 4 on a 20-sider actually. And it's going to be a lot cheaper just to burn through preservation wards than to buy a coal ward for this. But it can be kind of agonizing and slow. So just sit back, throw some tunes on, and go through and enchant these things up for you. Remember, the rares you're going to want to enchant probably on your own, and then the normal stuff like Radiance. Oh, there it goes. Nice. So now we have a 9. So now I have these 2 9s, you see right here, to make a 10. But these are different kinds, right? Vicious and Savage. Alright, and then once you get to 10, I kind of feel like you're home free, because then you're just dumping your refine into it, and you're not having to worry about buying an additional enchantment for whatever it costs at that particular point in time. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this helps you efficiently make all those cool, rare enchantments and get them up there to pimp out your character.